how to meet and go out with a 7 this week. I'm going to teach you how to meet and go out with a 7, at least a 7, in the next 7 days, which is my lucky number, by the way. Also, cop new shades, Tada Flex. The vibe is good. Shades on camera. I think it's a fucking vibe. Let's roll with it. You know that you're dating a girl who's a 6, and you're sleeping with a girl who's a 6, and you're not excited for her. You're not really attracted to her. It's just the best that you can do with no significant effort. And deep down, you know it sucks, and this is why you clicked on this video. So, I'm going to give you a guide, very practically, what to do in the next 7 days, so you can meet and take out a girl who is a little better than what you're used to. And by the way, under the eyes of God, we're all 10s, but in the eyes of humans, we do fucking have differences. Okay, socially, a girl who's a 3 is not viewed the same as a girl who is an 8. And likewise, a guy who is a 4 is just not going to be viewed the same as a guy who's a 10. It just doesn't work that way, okay? And maybe it's time we all fucking admit it to ourselves. Nobody's a misogynist because he says that one girl's a 4 and another girl's an 8. It's just the reality of how we humans view other humans. So, fuck you. And with that said, let's move on. Because we have to do the disclaimers and everything. Okay, whatever. If you're serious about your dating life, by the way, you want to go deeper into not only, practical guides, but all the theory and like everything under the sun to help you attract the women that you truly want, go down to the description below, grab the link, go to the community, and find all the resources that you need to start attracting quality girls right now. And with that said, here's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, I'm going to teach you the Hot Man Walk, which is going to be your resource, your number one resource, and the only one that you'll need to start meeting the girls that you want. Then, we're going to deal with and mitigate approach anxiety, because anxiety is something that might arise if you're starting to speak to people that you've never met before, and I understand that. We're going to take care of that. Then, I'm going to give you a little bit of a framework on how to structure your conversation. Nothing too crazy, super easy, so that you can talk to the girls that you like and know where to take it and how to get there. And at the very end, I'm going to give you a little bit of a timeline to know what your next 7 days are going to look like and what to expect. And if you do all of this, you're going to be able to meet and take out a 7. You're going to be excited for her and happy for her. And if you do that, from there you can move on to an 8 and a 9 and start getting higher quality girls. Girls that you're really excited for and girls that you deserve. Okay. Now, why should you listen to me? Very simple. I have dated enough 7s to know what I'm talking about. But also I've dated 8s and 9s and 10s. And I've done all the kinds of crazy permutations of relationships, from long-term, committed, amazing relationships to short-term fun and everything between. Because I've been teaching dating for over a decade now. And it's safe to say that I know what I'm talking about. So, what is this Hot Man Walk? It's pretty fucking simple, actually. It's just you meeting women during the day in your city. It might seem crazy, but it's actually super easy and super effective and efficient. The first thing I want you to do is do some prep work. So, I want you to start doing some intelligence, collecting some intelligence. What's going on in your city? Where are the high foot traffic areas? What time during the week is traffic where? What is the big street with the bars and the clubs and the cafes? What is the big commercial street with all the shops? And where are the parks and cafes that, cute women usually hang out at? Specifically, you can also think about the exact type of girl that you like and reverse that and think where she would be hanging out during the day from her perspective. And finally, I want you to also schedule out the next 7 days. Because, brother, if you've always gotten the results that you've been getting, if you don't put in extra work, you will keep getting the same results. It's just mathematical. It's just a mathematical certainty. But if you start putting in some extra work, the results that you get are going to change. This is why I want you to block out 2 hours per day to dedicate to doing the hot man walk, to going to the high foot traffic area of your city, and for 2 hours, for a couple hours, to wander around while meeting amazing people. Okay, good. Now that we have this out of the way, the second thing I want you to understand is that I want you to feel yourself when you do this. I want you to really enjoy being yourself and even enjoy the mere act of walking. Why? Women judge us by the way we do things, by competence, okay? We judge women by boobs. We judge women by face. We rarely judge women on their competency, as like how effective she is as a worker or something like that. But women, there's, what attraction is and stuff like that. This is a lot of theory, and I've done other videos on that, and if you want to dive deep into that, I suggest to look at the other content. But a major thing is, women like you when you are in that flow state, when you're in that zone where everything kind of like fades away, time doesn't exist, and you're just really doing your thing. In fact, the best thing to get a woman attracted to you is to ignore her. Okay, but of course, you need to put other things first in place in order to be able to ignore her and have that actually work. But the way to get a woman's attention is to enjoy what you're doing. So the hot man walk is you truly feeling yourself and enjoying yourself simply walking. Okay. And this is a concept that I want you to really grasp, and this is a concept that I want you to keep coming back to, because if you just grasp this thing, if you just feel yourself, and let your shoulders swing and let your posture be correct as you're walking on the street. It doesn't matter if you're not the tallest guy. Girls are still gonna notice you. It is fucking crazy. If you're in the zone, if you're in this fucking mode where you're just happy, present, and feel yourself, dude, girls notice you. Girls notice everything, okay? So, understand that you should start taking a walk and you should start feeling yourself. And the next thing I want you to do is walk for 10,000 steps. Look at your phone. It usually counts your steps. And let your instinct guide the way. Of course, don't try to avoid high traffic areas. This is the whole point. But just do whatever you feel like doing. If you feel like going to the coffee place to get a coffee, do that. Have your own little adventure. Okay. This is where it all starts. If you go to this area to start meeting women for this purpose, it's going to be all awkward and weird and clunky. But if you're doing your thing, and by the way, meeting girls, that is the way that you're supposed to do that. That is the way that you're supposed to live life. Okay. So this is the hot man walk. Do yourself, have your own adventure, feel yourself, let your shoulders swing as you're walking, and start meeting girls. Now, obviously you're going to say to me, Alex, it's very easily said, not as easily done, because I'm a little scared, I'm a little reluctant, I'm a little anxious about meeting girls. I'm a little anxious about exposing myself to passersby, about expressing myself with other people looking, about stopping a girl that I've never stopped before. Yeah, I hear you. There's going to be anxiety present. It's okay. Courage means doing it even though you feel anxiety. And courage is something that girls appreciate. So do that. Here's how you're going to ease yourself in. Number one, you're going to do what I call the throwaway compliment. The throwaway compliment is super easy. And it's meant to get you in a talkative state from a state of not having talked to anybody. So what you're going to do is, as you're doing your hot man walk, as you're walking on the street, people that pass by, and they could be even dudes, it doesn't matter. You're just going to give them a compliment and just throw it away and keep walking. The whole point here is this. If you keep walking after giving somebody a compliment, you don't expect anything in return. You're not waiting for them to accept the compliment, or you're not lingering around hoping that you get a compliment in return. You're just making it known that you appreciate something about them. You're throwing a compliment their way, and you're leaving. That is amazing energy, and that's gonna make everybody want to return the favor because it's genuine energy. It's real shit. People appreciate that. When people start appreciating you, you'll start getting the feedback of that. So all of this feedback or feedback loop is going to start increasing your state. It's going to start putting you in a better and better and better mood. It's going to make you happier as a person. What a surprise, right? We do cool shit for other people, makes us happy, right? Now, okay, we're still not at this point where we can talk to a girl. Fuck, so what do we do? Well, okay, let's negotiate. It's time to use progressive overload. What's easy for you? Is it easy to talk to a girl who's paid to be nice to you, like a cashier somewhere? Maybe start there. Is it easy to talk to a girl who's not that beautiful? Maybe start there. Is it easy to talk to a girl but not make it about a romantic subject? Maybe you can ask for the time. Start there. And progressively start overloading. Progressively start raising the stakes. Start talking to hotter girls, ones you're interested in. Start making it more romantic. Start making it more intense. Okay. The more you do that, if you keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, eventually you'll be able to approach a girl and mean business. And that's what we want. So before you know it, you're going to be able to talk to the girls that you're interested in. Great. Now we have access. Achievement unlocked. What do we do next? Here's how I want you to structure your conversation. I'm going to give you 4 very easy waypoints to keep in mind and allow them to guide you into the next segment of conversation. And it's super easy. The first thing I want you to do is make her laugh. So you're going to start the conversation and just remember that you've made your friends laugh. You already have the skill. It's not crazy. It's not hard to make another person laugh. However, if you take it way too seriously and you don't let yourself be free and free associate and be charismatic, you're not going to do that. But you've already done it. You've done it with your friends 1,000 times. So don't take the interaction very seriously. Nothing is too serious anyway. We're all in a big rock in space, if you didn't realize. So just fucking make her laugh. Okay. I'm not even going to tell you how. I know that you will find the way. Super easy. The next thing I want you to do is get her to ask you something about yourself. Because the first thing we need to do so that she gets a good vibe, and that you also get a good vibe, that you create a good vibe between both of you. But the second thing, we want you to get her to ask you something about yourself, because in that way, you can become a real person in her life. Until that moment where she's interested in you, you're not really a real person. You're just some dude that she happened to meet. Okay, so the way to do that is by asking her questions first. You want to get to know who she is. And maybe you also want to make sure that you're inviting the people that you like into your life. So maybe you want to make sure that you can disqualify her if she gives you an answer that you don't fuck with. Okay. So ask her about herself. Ask her about what she's up to, what she's doing. Then keep asking her about what she's doing generally in her life. If she travels, what she does for a living. More general, in-depth questions about her. And maybe at the end, ask her why. Why does she have the job that she has? Why does she practice that vocation? Start finding out her motivations. Start finding out her values. The moment you're so deep in conversation, she can't help but ask you about yourself either. Like if you get a girl to start talking about her values and dreams and aspirations, and boundaries and close relationships. She will not be able to help but wonder who you are. So she's definitely going to ask you what you do for a living, who you are, what you're up to. Okay. Once you hear the questions about yourself and answer them, second waypoint is done. At that point, I want you to make vague plans. I don't want you to make sure that she commits to some kind of a future plan, but simply ask her if she likes wine, or ask her if she likes mini golf. And whatever she does like, which by the way, now you have kind of a thorough picture of who she is, so it's kind of easy to figure out what she might like. Then you can say, oh, that's great. Maybe someday soon we can share a mini golf game, or we can share a bottle of wine. To which she will say, fuck yes. Okay. Now, once you've made vague plans, now it's time to close. And close means either you take her number, or you exchange Instagram, or you can just go on a date right then and there. If you want to go right then and there on a date with her, the easiest thing you can do is to just simply leave. Ask the question. Actually, don't even ask a question. Just say, come, let's get a juice. I know a juice place right here. Walk with me for a second. And you will see that if you're decisive, and if you take initiative, and if you're confident about what you're saying, how you're saying it, and where you're going, she's going to follow you. She's going to want to continue having that great energy around her. Okay, so now you're taking the girl out on a date. And if you can't, again, you can just take her number. Now that you have her number, just text her, agree on a time and a place, and now you can go out. That's super easy. Okay, so here's what the timeline is going to look like. The first and second day, it's going to be a little hard to approach girls. You're going to fight with yourself. But you're going to win this fucking fight through progressive overload. And your first approaches are going to be okay. Maybe girls are going to ignore you at first. But eventually, if you do that enough, on the second day, girls are going to start giving you their attention, which is great. The next thing you're going to get stuck on is getting the girl to ask you about yourself. You will see that during days 3 and 4, a lot of girls are not going to ask you about yourself. You're not going to be charismatic enough. But if you persist, if you keep going, girls are going to want to, or girls are going to become curious about you eventually. If you open up, if you realize that there is no difference between making your buddy laugh and making the girl laugh, girls are going to start asking you about yourself. And eventually, days 5 to 7, you're going to struggle closing the girl. You're going to fumble, you're going to fumble the phone number. You're going to mumble with your words a little bit. But given enough persistence, enough experience and practice, you will see that eventually you're going to be able to get a girl's number and meet her out on a date, or alternatively, date her right then and there. So, I'm going to leave you with this thought in mind. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Grab the link to the community if you're so inclined, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.